the Success Club system. And the reason why we're bringing that to you today is because we want to introduce it to the network in the first quarter of next year. But before we do that, we want to have those of you that are willing kind of road test it, to test it out for the next couple months between now and the end of the year. I'm going to talk to you about how to do that in just a second. And so we're going to show that to you right now. As I start with the Success Club system, though, I do need to make a couple mention of some updates to the vital behaviors that we will be introducing. And again, this is all based in the best practices that we have looked at from these successful coaches, all right? Now, two of them are the exact same, right? Be proof the products work and do personal development, but I want to highlight some of the new ones. You'll notice that recognize isn't on the list anymore. That's not because we don't think recognize is important. But what we found is that recognition is a key activity, but it kind of falls under a bucket that we've labeled get people results. And this vital behaviors, you'll learn more about it. This isn't a training to teach this to you, but we'll talk more about it as things come. But it really is meant to reinforce the importance of delivering on our mission. We talk a lot about inviting and helping people get started, and we should, because that's a very key part, and it's very difficult for most people. As Jeff always says, it's the start that stops most people. Success Club and all those things really celebrate that start, but that's not necessarily where our mission happens, right? Fulfilling our mission. It's helping them stick to that commitment so they get results, right? We've identified as being getting results for yourself, getting results for your customers, and getting your coaches results as well. So we'll learn more about that. We've also then updated the invite vital behavior to give greater clarity on the inviting process. Now instead of saying invite, we'll be talking about connect, invite, and follow up, which is a greater representation of the process of expanding your follower base and building those relationships and those things that lead to inviting. So as coaches, new coaches, less experienced coaches especially, learn about that, they understand a little bit better what that process is. And honestly, this is where the Success Club system lives. When we talk about the best practices that we've gathered, the majority of the Success Club system is around acquisition, best practices, and it lives in this vital behavior. And so you'll see us kind of connect those two, but I want to make sure you saw how that all works, because how we're going to deliver the Success Club system to you is in a fully revamped business activity tracker. Now, the revamped business activity tracker, well, let's clap. It's been a lot of work to get it to this point. You guys can clap. Okay? I want to actually take just 2 seconds and thank, there's about 45 coaches that have really gone through a lot over the past year with me as we've refined this and have really helped inform this. This really isn't anything we've created. This is what we just gathered and found from you guys and just tried to package and give back to you in a way that would make it easier to duplicate with. But the Success Club system will be delivered in the form of an updated business activity tracker. All right? And so what we're asking for, what we're looking for, is for those of you that are interested, is to have 2 or 3 of your part-time coaches between now and the end of the year follow the Success Club system or use this business activity tracker on a weekly basis. We want to test this out. We want to make sure before we roll out to the network that there's no additional refinements or tweaks that need to be made to it. And as you get a chance to look at this, and all of you will, we're looking for that feedback. All right? So let me explain to you how that will work. If you are interested in testing this with us, we've created a Facebook group, a training test group for the Success Club system. This group is not for you to add your coaches to. That's still your job to do that. This group is meant to be as a resource and a place to give feedback to me and the team. All right? So one of the things we've done with this, though, is not just create a place to have discussions, but we've actually built out the units section to deliver on some key trainings around the key activities that drive each one of these vital behaviors. So each one of those little lines right there, each one of those units, has a set or series of trainings, 8 to 10 minutes, associated with them, done by top coaches, successful coaches. These videos in this group, in the unit section, are downloadable, so you can actually go and download them and use them in your own groups if you don't have similar trainings, okay? Or you can use your own. Doesn't matter, but you can use this as a reference point. Does that make sense, you guys? So if you're interested in joining this test group, what I need you to do is point your camera to this little QR code right here, and it will take you to a job form. If you don't want to do that, there's a long link right there, or you can just message me on Facebook after this and I can send it to you, okay? But there's a form you're going to fill out. And you're going to notice we're going to ask for some key pieces of information, like name, and I want to know the ID numbers of the coaches that you want to use the system with, because we're going to track what they're doing. We're going to track the results that they're getting to corroborate that along with the feedback that you're giving us, okay? So we're only going to let 5-star diamonds and above right now test it with their coaches. So this is not something I want you to go give to all of your team, all right? You have to be a 5-star diamond above in order to test this out. We're going to ask for a minimum of 2 to 3 coaches, part-time coaches, okay, that you find to be able to use this. All right. You know, the thing for me, honestly, that excites me the most about this goes back to maybe a little bit of the story that I talked about. The simplification, the focusing on those things, really those best practices that make the biggest difference. Earlier this year, I got a phone call from a coach that I used to work closely with, and she was really frustrated. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. For the first time in the 4 years I've been a coach, I'm actually thinking about just walking away. And there was a part of me that was like, my instinct was like, no, but then I'm like, you know what? I can hear something in her voice. And so I said, well, tell me what's going on. And we walked through it, and now to get to the point here. One of the things I realized, or I recognized, is that over the years, she had kind of built up layers on her business. Good intention after good intention, these layers had kind of accumulated on her business, and she almost didn't realize it. Where she was trying to do so many things and saw this or saw that and put that in and tried to do this, and she had all these things and she was delivering all this amazing content and training and all these things to their team, and why don't they just get it? They can't do this, and they're not engaging, and all this other stuff that was going on with her. And so the only thing that I did with her is I said, look, we just need to strip a lot of that away right now. And let's talk about what matters most. Let's talk about helping people. Let's talk about belief in what you're doing. And let's talk about some of those core activities that they need to be engaged in, that you and your team need to be engaged in. And it's been interesting for me to watch this year how things that process has really done a couple things. First, it's increased the success that she's seen. And second, when I talked to her just a month ago, the distinction between where she was and where she is was night and day. Very happy, very upbeat, very positive, very excited about what's going on. She's not quite where she wanted to be, but she's definitely trending in that direction better than she was. And honestly, I think it started because she just simplified. She went back to those best practices and stopped trying to do all the good practices at the same time. In my experience, the greatest factor in sustained success for a coach is the expenditure of consistent and focused energy on those right best practices, you guys. On focusing on 2 plays instead of 5 plays, right? And doing those things that matter most, and allowing yourself to discipline yourself to just stay consistent with those. And when they do that, good things happen. They want to really make sure I did that animation there, because they still don't have time doing that, okay? But I'm excited to work with you guys on the Success Club system. I really, really am. I hope all of you will join and commit to work through it with us so we can launch that in the beginning of next year. So thank you guys very much.